Hi guys, what's going on? My name's Ellie. Welcome back to another video. Sit back, relax, get yourself a drink or a snack, and enjoy this Call of Duty gameplay. As you can read the title, I wanted to talk about the Ballerina film. I watched it the other day with my little brother, and yeah, I loved it. It was awesome. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna give my thoughts on it. Because, yeah, as soon as I watched it, I was like, I have to talk about this. I guess I'll start by saying I hadn't watched the John Wick films. I hadn't watched them at all. I knew about them from, like, pop culture references, and I knew, like, the overall theme and, like, vibe of the films. So I did want to watch them before watching Ballerina. I heard Ballerina's set between 3 and 4. So I watched 1, 2, and 3. Me and my little brother binge watched them, basically. And yeah, they were awesome. They're kind of just exactly what I expected. I think out of the 3, I really like 2 the most, which I know is an unpopular opinion from what I've seen. But yeah, I really liked the first one. It kind of sets it all up. 2 kind of just expands on like the action and stuff, which I really liked. And then obviously 3 kind of expands the story and like the lore of the world and stuff. So it's a lot of setting up again, I think. And I did enjoy it, but it was probably my least favourite. But yeah, it was still really good. And yeah, I guess Keanu Reeves...
You're breathtaking!
Just amazing in those films. Really love him as an actor. I love him in The Matrix. And yeah, obviously it's a John Wick film, but like not about John Wick. It's about this new character called Eve. And the whole story, I'm going to try and avoid spoilers. I will put a time thing on screen if I do kind of go a bit too into spoiler territory. But it's going to be mostly like overall vibes of the film, I suppose. Because I do want everyone who watched this video to go watch it. Because yeah, it was definitely one of my favourite experiences, or cinema experiences this year so far. It's kind of like a story about like vengeance. It's quite a simple story, but like, I don't know, it works, it's great. And it fits the John Wick like kind of vibe. And we do see John Wick in the film a little bit, which you do see in the trailer. So he does have like some appearances, and I think Keanu Reeves was a executive producer on it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Ana de Armas plays the lead character Eve, and she's just really cool. I love her, like, I guess in comparison, the only way I can describe it is in comparison to John Wick, because obviously he's like the main character of the series. I like a lot how they're quite similar, but they're very different as well. I feel like Eve has a very like scrappy kind of fighting style, and you can see how in comparison to John Wick, like John Wick fights with like 30 years of experience. Like he's been doing it a long time. Whereas she is a little bit less experienced. She's still like really tough though, but just in a different way. And I like how they play into it. Like, I guess it's kind of like that. I hate saying this because it's kind of cringe, but like that kind of girl boss energy with some of the writing, how her teacher, when she's training, is like fight like a girl, and you can really see the comparison between John Wick and her, how she does play to her strengths as a woman. So yeah, it's just a really good spin on the universe and how like a woman can kind of fight and be in this world, I suppose. But yeah, all the action sequences were insane, like so cool. I was sat with my little brother and we kept like having jaw drop moments. Like I kept looking over him like, oh my god, like it's insane. I guess I'm gonna get into a couple little spoilers here. It's not too much like in terms of the story, but just in terms of the action sequence. So if you want to skip ahead, go ahead. But yeah, some of my favorites was like when she used grenades, and like there's this one scene when she grabs this guy and like puts a grenade in his mouth and then shuts the door on him, and it's like a big metal door, and she stands behind it and he just explodes behind the door, and it's just insane. And like, and then she does another one behind a table. There's lots of explosions, lots of just insane moments. I also really liked how she uses like lots of different weapons, I guess quite like John Wick, but like one in particular was when she picks up these ice skates. That was like so sick. I was like so gripped when she was like fighting with the ice skates and like slicing people up. Basically, I was like, Jesus, like she's insane. But she still takes like hits, especially when there's this one fight scene. I won't spoil it, but she has a fight with a certain character and she doesn't seem weak. She just fights a lot differently. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just a really cool way of showing her strengths and how she plays into them. But yeah, nothing seemed over the top. Like, obviously it's over the top, but like, it's a John Wick film. So obviously it's going to be, it's what you expect. You go in there knowing there's going to be like kind of unrealistic fighting. But yeah, I don't know. It hit the spot for me. I thought it was awesome. I also couldn't help but think while I was watching, the director must have, like, I feel like the director must be a gamer. Like, I feel like he must play a lot of video games because I could see a lot of, like, influence, especially from, like, survival horror games. So, like, The Last of Us and Resident Evil, I could see a lot of, like, influence from those games. Obviously not in the sense of how it's, like, they're zombie games, because obviously there's not zombies in this movie, but like just how it's shot and how certain fighting happens, and even some of the writing style and like settings and characters, especially how Anna looks, or not Anna, Eve, the actress is Anna, especially how Eve looks, like she's got a backpack on with like the katana. She looks so cool. But I couldn't help but look and be like, this looks like The Last of Us. Like, I don't know. She's just really cool. And yeah, it's got some really cool different influences that I was noticing. And I also really loved how much it like kind of breaks the rules of what a John Wick film or like an action film in general should be. There'll be some slight spoilers here for like not plot points, but like things that happen. So if you want to skip ahead again, I'll leave a time skip here. There's this part where it really reminded me of The Last of Us, actually, where you have like your typical, in like your action films, you have your typical protagonist goes to see someone to go get geared up and get all these guns and armor, and like the guy there like explains what all the guns do, and it's like a really cool, the only way I can like describe it or compare it to is like, you know, like those Disney Channel makeover scenes. I don't know. It makes sense for me, but like, it's like that, but like for an action film. Like they're having their makeover in a way, but like getting given guns and grenades and katanas. But yeah, there's this one scene, and you know how they usually play out and what really happens, but it kind of gets like cut off halfway through. Like they're in the middle of explaining a gun, and then all of a sudden they're getting attacked, and I was sat there like, this isn't supposed to happen now. Like, you're supposed to wait until they're geared up before you come and fight. Do you know what I mean? Like, it felt like the extras came in at the wrong time. Obviously they didn't. But yeah, it was just really fun and like a cool like thing that keeps you on your toes. Like when you think this is supposed to be a safe house, people shouldn't fight here, but they do. And there's also another scene when she's just kind of finished a mission and she goes to drive off. And, you know, when like the car drives away into the distance and the camera pans out and you expect to go to the next scene, but then all of a sudden she gets hit by another car and gets dragged back and the camera pans down again and she has to fight again. It's just really cool things that like subvert your expectations. So yeah, I thought that was really fun and cool. But yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say. Yeah, like, all I can say is go watch the film. It's definitely one of my favourite experiences I've had at the cinema this year. It was just super insane, and like I said, I would watch it with my little brother. We just kept looking over each other like, this is sick. Like, and when we walked out, we went to a pub after to have a drink, and all we were talking about was how good the film was. So yeah, definitely go watch it. I'll leave my Letterboxd review in the description if that would interest you. Yeah, I guess it's the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your views if you've watched it yet. If you haven't watched it, let me know if this has convinced you to go watch it. And make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. And I guess I'll do my quick little promotions as well now. All my links are linked in the description. I have a Discord server if you want to join there. We have channels to talk about video games and movies and music and just overall discussion if that would interest you. And my Twitch is linked in the description if you want to go follow me there. Sometimes I live stream. That is basically it. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. So yeah, bye.